The companies will always change. What's good today may not be good tomorrow. What's bad today may be good later on in the future. But if you remember the principles, you remember the concepts, you can use this as a template for you to be able to somehow shift and pivot. Hey guys, so I want to cater this video to people who are starting out in the stock market, who are long-term investors. We've talked about successful practices on what you can do so that you can pick good stock, so that you can invest properly for the long term. Now, in this video, I want to talk about what are the things you must avoid if you want to be successful in the stock market. Especially, if you are a long-term investor, please do note that the significant difference between investors and traders, that if you're a trader, you want to look at the fluctuations, you want to follow the trend, and sometimes a lot of those picks are mainly dependent on price action, momentum, and volume. But if you're a long-term trader, it will always go back to your understanding and your knowledge about the company. The more you know about the company, the better it will be for you. The more you know about the company, the better the decisions you will make, so that you are not just mainly dependent on what everyone is telling you. Because the name of the game when you are investing, and I think this will apply not just for stocks, but this will apply also for cryptocurrencies, real estate, and also when you start your own business, is that the lesser you rely on other people's opinions, the lesser you rely on what other people are telling you, the better your investments will become, or the better the decisions you will make also. And I think the larger your conviction will be. If you are investing in the stock market and you are looking at it from a business aspect, always look at who the owners are, always look at what their track record is, always look at what have they done in the past. And in an era where sales are not so good, look at what have the CEO, the chairman of the board, or the leadership or the executives have done in seasons in their career where their businesses were not doing so well. I think what's so important also when you are studying companies is that the integrity of the people running it, how they are running the show when times are good, and how they're running the show when times are bad. And it was very, very important for me, especially for last year. I wanted to see who among the companies, the listed companies, were very, very fair to their shareholders when times were bad. Not just fair to their shareholders, but also fair to their employees. As much as possible, pinaglaban din nila that their employees still had a good source of income even when times were bad. You want as much as possible the owners, the executives, the leadership to be people that with integrity. You don't know what's going behind closed doors. You don't know what they do during those board meetings. You don't know what happens inside the company. And investing in companies with people with good hearts, with people with integrity, in my opinion, will go a very, very long way. Number two, don't invest in companies who are in sectors that are relatively slow or not doing so well, or money is not flowing there, or the attention is not there. You always want to invest in companies where that's where money's headed, that's where the future is. And if you've been following the way I have been doing it, I have been focusing on technology, on renewable energy, on artificial intelligence, on financial technology, because that's where I believe things are headed. And a style that you can implement here is that, okay, that's not where we're headed already. I don't want to invest there. You don't want to be the person who's investing in yellow pages. You don't want to be the person who's investing in fax machines, in answering machines, or in technology that's not there anymore. If you look at what I've been saying, from blockchain to fintech to social media to artificial intelligence, look at the industries that those will disrupt. Look at the industries na matatamaan because of that, and that's what you stay away from. Look at the companies, the sectors, the industries that because of automation, they may lose a lot of clients, or they will have a harder time because of it. If that sector is changing and shifting, yung mga companies that are not pivoting, yung mga companies that are not shifting, yung mga companies that are not evolving, yun yung also iwasan nyo. And I don't know if this is something that's helping you, but I want to give you some principles right here na pwede nyo ulit-ulitin, pwede nyo gamitin kahit tapos na itong pandemic na to. Because please remember this, the companies will always change. What's good today may not be good tomorrow, what's bad today may be good later on in the future. But if you remember the principles, you remember the concepts, you can use this as a template for you to be able to somehow shift and pivot. So I like to give you also an example of a company that was able also to shift and pivot. A couple of years ago, PLDT was primarily focused on their legacy business, call and text. But if you look at what they did also, they were able to shift, they were able to pivot, they were able to focus a lot of their attention also on broadband. They were able to focus on, we were not able to capitalize on that a couple of years ago, but because we're seeing a lot of people moving into this space, everyone's using the internet, we're gonna shift there, we're gonna double down, and we're gonna put a lot of money also to build on that together. So what should newbie investors not invest in? Companies with bad leadership, companies that are not pivoting or shifting, or companies that are in industries that will be disrupted, or it's not where things are actually going. What should you also not invest in if you are a newbie long-term investor? Look at who are the companies that are going head-to-head. You always want to bet on the market leader. You always want to bet on the one that's actually winning. So, of course, there's a chance that maybe mas mura yung company na mas maliit. Maybe mas mura yung company na wala pa masyadong clients, na may hope na baka sila yung maging mas maganda. But at the end of the day, if the numbers are showing that the larger company is still beating the smaller one, dun pa rin kayo sa may stable track record. Dun pa rin kayo kung sino talaga nakakakuha ng madaming sales. Dun pa rin kayo kung sino yung nakakakuha ng larger piece of the pie in their particular industry. And this will apply not to banks, this will apply to malls, this will apply to property development companies, this will apply to technology companies, this will apply to fast food chains, this will apply to everything under the sun. Gusto nyo iwasan yung company na natatalo sila ng competitor nila, please remember this, na nag-i-invest kayo sa negosyo. So kung yung company na ini-investan nyo, natatalo lang din sila ng kalaban nila, sayang naman. Pwedeng mas mura sila, pwedeng mas matunog sila, pwedeng mas sikat sila because siya yung pinag-uusapan ng mga tao. Pero babalik at babalik pa rin yun sa punto na sino yung mas magaling, sino yung mas madaming kita, sino yung mas nag-i-expand, sino yung mas nakakakuha ng mas malaking market share. Kung yun yung natatalo, kahit sobrang pinag-uusapan siya sa stock market, don't give into it. Always buy into the company that's actually doing better. And that being said, sasanga-sanga na to lahat dito. Iwasan nyo yung mga kumpanya na matagal na pero hindi talaga sila kumikita. As a newbie investor, please avoid companies that are not earning. Please avoid companies who have been there for a very, very long time. Their income, their sales have been declining. Of course, it's another story, it's another issue if you're looking at a tech company kasi you value tech companies differently. Pag bago pa lang yan, tapos talagang lahat ng kinikita nila, papasok at pabalik sa business lahat at talagang pump lang sila ng pump ng capital to be able to expand it, that's a different story. Pero kung yung company na yon matagal na, tapos paliit ng paliit yung sales nila, palit ng palit yung net income nila, or dumadating sa point that even after this pandemic, bagsak sila. Instead of getting a net income, they're getting a net loss. They're losing money. Huwag nyo bibilin yun. And of course, understandable na last year, madaming companies na nagkaroon ng net losses, which I think is understandable because we had a once-in-a-lifetime type of pandemic that shut down not just the Philippine economy, but also the global economy. And it's understandable that when that happened, we saw a lot of companies na yung kita nila bumagsak. We saw a lot of companies that hit a net loss. Pero the proof will be in the pudding that iwasan nyo yung mga companies na hindi makaka-recover dito. Iwasan nyo yung mga companies na hindi makaka-pivot. Iwasan nyo yung mga companies that even after this pandemic, hindi pa sila nakakabalik sa dati. Oo, totoo, lahat tayo natamaan. Totoo, lahat tayo affected. Pero the fact that they're not innovating, the fact that they're not shifting, the fact that they're not pivoting, speaks volumes na baka hindi sila magandang company. And I've been saying this over and over and over again that in bad times, good companies just get even better. In bad times, good companies just even shift, evolve, and change the status quo, that they even transcend. Because ito gusto ko sabihin and I've been saying this over and over in my videos, that pag maganda economy, even bad companies perform well. Pero the proof will always be pag masama yung economy, paano nag-shift yung mga company na magagaling. Because ito yung alam ko, when times are bad, good companies get better. When times are bad, good companies position for times of recovery. So kung yung kumpanya na inaaral nyo, hindi pa talaga sila nakakapag-shift or innovate, or even pag natapos yung pandemic, bagsak pa rin kita nila, iwasan nyo na yun. Iwasan nyo yung pangit na leadership, Iwasan nyo kung nasa sector sila na pabagsak, iwasan nyo kung natatalo sila ng kalaban nila, then iwasan nyo pag yung numbers sinasabi na hindi talaga sila worth buying. As a newbie long-term investor, at the end of the day, you want to buy it when prices are low, not when they're massively higher. And I know also that pag mataas yung presyo, everyone's excited to buy it because syempre pag mataas yung presyo, walang bad news. Everyone's excited, everyone's optimistic about it. Pero when you look at it into perspective, that the best time to always buy when it's low, and you just need to exercise conviction, you just need to exercise also patience. I'll substitute this also to Bitcoin. By the time I'm making this video, Bitcoin is down. But please remember this, by the time it was 64,000 a couple of weeks ago to where it is right now, near 32, 33,000, wala naman nagbago sa Bitcoin eh. Kung ano yung Bitcoin more than a month ago, pareho lang siya sa Bitcoin ngayon. Kung pinag-aralan nyo ng mabuti yung kumpanya, kung pinag-aralan nyo mabuti yung investment, at wala naman talaga nagbago dun. Kung nagustuhan nyo siya nung mataas siya, dapat mas gusto nyo siya nung mababa siya. The name of the game still is, kung maganda yung company na binibili nyo, kung sobrang maganda yung long-term prospects niya, dapat buy low, sell high. Kung bago ka pa lang, tapos nabili mo sa taas, balikan mo. Ano yung rason kung bakit mo siya binili sa presyo na yun? Kung pagbagsak niya, hindi naman nagbago yung rason kung bakit mo siya nagustuhan dun sa taas, dapat mas gusto mo pa rin siya sa mababa. The biggest problem of a lot of people when they start to invest is that pag lahat ng tao takot na, pag bumabagsak na, pag mababa na siya at hindi na excited lahat ng mga tao, that's when we start to panic. That's why it's so important to be anchored on the main reason on why you are actually investing. It's so important to be anchored on why you are investing in that particular stock, because dapat binibili mo siya ng mura, dapat binibili mo siya ng bagsak. So kung hindi naman nagbago yung rason kung bakit mo gusto yung kumpanya na yun ng mas mababa na presyo, edi dapat binibili mo siya. Kung yung Bitcoin mataas, mas mababa yung presyo ngayon, wala naman nagbago sa Bitcoin, then that should give you the confidence to actually buy it. In the same way, ganun din sa mga companies na magaganda. Kung rason mo bilhin yun para sa dividendo, tapos bumaba lang siya, it should always be buy low, sell high. Katulad ng pagsabi ko na madaming tao na pag bumibili na mataas, pag bagsak, nagbebenta, please, iwasan yung pag-panic. Iba yung laro pag trader, iba yung laro pag investor. And I'll say this over and over and over. Pag nag-i-invest ka, tignan mo yung negosyo. Pag bumibili ka ng negosyo, gusto mo na mura siya. Pag bumibili ka ng negosyo, gusto mo mas malaki yung upside mo. The lower you get it, the better. Yung difference lang siguro sa stock market kasi nagpa-fluctuate yung prices, mas madaling mag-panic. So, kung hindi naman nagbago yung kumpanya na gusto nyo, tas bumaba siya, wag lang kayo mag-panic. Find ways for you not to rely on your emotions. Find ways for you to rely on a specific system that will cause you and give you the conviction to buy low, that will cause you and give you the conviction that you can still hold on to it in spite of volatility. And kahit umakyat na siya pero hindi pa naman natatamaan kung ano man yung signal nyo to be able to sell, then you must also be willing to hold on to it. I'll say this coming from a person also who has his own share of mistakes in investing. Please remember this, our goal is not to play a perfect game. We will have our own share of mistakes when we start coming into the market. We will have our own share of mistakes when we deploy capital, and when it's your money also, kahit sobra yan, of course you always want it to earn, but the reality is no matter how much we want to earn also, mistakes will be there, and we just have to deal with it and live with it, that pag nag-invest tayo, pag nagkamali tayo, kailangan natin aralin bakit tayo nagkamali. Let's try to see where we stumbled, and from that, let's build our system. From that, let's just try to be better. From that, let's just try to pivot. And if you're watching this and then you're still new into the markets, guess what? Kung sa trabaho mo, I don't know kung gaano katagal nagtatrabaho, pero kung mapapansin mo, the longer you're working on your job, the longer you're studying in your school, the better you become. And you won't become good in the stock market in just 2 months, in just 4 months, in 2 years of doing it. You get better over time. And of course, watch these videos, read books, research, surround yourself with the right people, but don't be so hard on yourself if you are not getting the results quickly. Don't be so hard on yourself if there will be losing trades. Don't be so hard on yourself also if that you're not getting the results that you want, because at the end of the day, You just have to do you. And as long as you are investing based on kung ano yung plinano mo, and if you're investing based on kung ano talaga yung strategy nyo, if you're investing based on, okay, hanggang 60 pa naman ako, 30 pa lang naman ako ngayon so why should you panic? That's what I'm saying. I want you guys to win. And yung mga pagkakamali ko dati, lahat ng kinikwento ko, mistakes also that I made So yung mga pagkakamali ko dati, hindi nyo na kailangan gawin. And the reason why I keep making videos like this is that I want you guys to do better. And I know you guys will do better. And I know you guys will win. I know that there will be a generation of Filipinos that 10, 20, 30 years from now, your lives will be massively better. Not because you're watching my channel, but because you made a conscious decision to prioritize building assets. But not just building assets, you made a conscious decision that you want to take control of your own finances. And the best way to do it is by investing. And I'll still say this over and over and over and over. I may love cryptocurrencies now, but I really believe that the stock market is still one of the greatest ways, if it's done properly and studied right, to build wealth over the long term. So I hope you guys got a lot from this, and I hope nakatulong dun sa mga tao nagsisimula pa lang sa pag-invest for the long term na hindi nyo na kailangan gawin yung mga mistakes na to. If you're new to this, my name is Marvin Germo. I'm a stock market trader and investor. And if you want more videos like this, check it out below. We have a lot here in YouTube. Check out our playlist and like, share, subscribe, and smash the bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about investing. If you want to join our online course, if you want to join our live events, if you want to grab a copy of my book, or if you want to invest in the forex market, the crypto market, and the stock market, check it out in the description below. And I hope that this is something that added tremendous value to you. And this is Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.